Love in Two. The morning sun casts golden rays over Candelaria's public market, where wooden stalls lined narrow aisles, filled with the chatter of buyers and sellers. Maria Maya de la Cruz wiped sweat from her brow with the back of her hand, arranging bunches of fresh kangkong and crisp lettuce on her wooden table. Her worn denim jeans and simple white shirt were a far cry from the designer dresses she'd worn her entire life. But this disguise was her choice. She'd first seen him 3 weeks ago, when he'd stumbled into the market, looking lost, carrying a grocery list scribbled in messy handwriting. Miguel Santos was in his final year at the University of the Philippines, Los Para, studying architecture, and came from one of Quezon's most respected political families. His father was a former governor, his mother a prominent doctor. To the world, he was a golden boy with a bright future. To Maya, he was just the kind, handsome man who'd asked for help finding bitter melon for his grandmother's soup. Maya, 3 kilos of tomatoes, please, Mrs. Reyes called out, breaking her train of thought. Coming right up. Nay, nay, Maya smiled, quickly weighing the bright red produce. As she handed over the bag, she felt eyes on her and turned to find Miguel standing at the edge of her stall, a small smile playing on his lips. Still trying to master the art of grocery shopping, she teased, wiping her hands on her apron. I think I need a permanent teacher, he replied, stepping closer. My Lola says your vegetables are the freshest in the market. She wants me to buy everything from you from now on. Maya's heart fluttered. 4 weeks. They'd exchanged small talk while he shopped. He'd told her about his classes, his dreams of designing sustainable homes for rural communities. She'd shared stories of her family's farm in the province, carefully crafting a life that didn't exist. She was actually Maria Cassandra Villarrealta, only heir to Villarreal Real Estate, one of the largest property developers in the Philippines, with holdings across Luzon. Her parents had wanted her to marry into another wealthy family to expand their business empire, but Maya had always believed in love first. When she'd seen Miguel volunteering at a community feeding program near the market, she'd known she couldn't approach him as a billionaire's daughter when she wanted him to love her, not her money or name. Their romance grew like slowly. The vegetables Maya tended to in her imaginary farm. Miguel would meet her at the market early in the morning before his classes, sometimes bringing her coffee from the small cafe nearby. On weekends, they'd walk along the riverbank, talking for hours about their hopes and fears. You know, Miguel said one evening, as they sat watching the sunset paint the sky orange and pink, I've never met anyone like you. You're so grounded, so real. Maya's chest tightened with guilt, but she pushed it away. I just try to live simply, Miguel. That's all that matters. He reached for her hand, his fingers wrapping around hers. I want to spend my life with you, Maya. I know we don't have much, but I'll work hard to give you everything you deserve. Tears pricked at her eyes. If only you knew, she thought. But in that moment, she made a decision. She'd tell him the truth. After they were married, she'd already spoken to her parents, who'd been furious at first but had eventually agreed to let her follow her heart on the condition that she'll keep her identity hidden until she was certain of Miguel's feelings. 3 months later, they were married in a small ceremony at the local church, with only Miguel's family and a few of Maya's trusted staff posing as distant relatives in attendance. Miguel's mother had been hesitant at first. She'd hoped her son would marry someone from a similar background. But Maya's kindness and warmth had won her over as they danced their first dance. As husband and wife, Miguel whispered in her ear, "I'll love you forever, Maya." No matter what. She closed her eyes, holding on to those words like a lifeline. After the conference, Miguel tried to contact Maya several times, sending flowers to her office, leaving messages on her phone, but she didn't respond. She'd spent too many years trying to win his love, and she wasn't going to waste any more time on someone who'd only valued her when he realized what she could give him. "He's been asking around about you," David said one evening, as they sat on the balcony of his penthouse, watching the city lights twinkle below. "His firm is in trouble. Montes Construction pulled their investment after Sophia left him for another man." Maya sighed, swirling her wine glass in her hand. "I don't feel happy about his problems, David. I just feel sad that he never saw the person standing right in front of him." "I know," David said, pulling her closer. "But you don't have to carry that sadness with you anymore. You're free to build the life you want." A few weeks later, Maya received a letter from Miguel. She hesitated before opening it, then unfolded the paper and read, "Maya. Maya, I don't expect you to forgive me, and I don't deserve it, but I need you to know that I've been thinking a lot about the life we had. When I saw you on that stage, talking about your work and your dreams, I realized that I never really knew you at all. I was so focused on what I thought I want: status, a success, the approval of others, that I lost sight of what truly matters. I've left Montes Construction and started my own small firm, focusing on affordable housing, just like we once talked about. I know I can never make up for what I did to you, but I want to use what I've learned to help people the way you're doing. I hope one day you can find it in your heart to forgive me, but even if you can't, I want you to know that you changed my life. You showed me what real love looks like, even if I was too blind to see it. With regret and hope, Miguel." Maya folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. She didn't know if she'd ever be able to forgive Miguel for the pain he'd caused her, but she could wish him well on his new path. And for the first time since leaving him, she felt truly free. On a clear morning, in Tagaytay, overlooking Taal volcano, David got down on one knee. "Maya," he said, holding a small velvet box in his hand, "when I met you, I thought you were just a brilliant business leader, but as I got to know you, I realized you're so much more. You're kind, compassionate, and the strongest person I've ever met. I love every part of you: the woman who sold vegetables in the market, the CEO who's changing lives, and everything in between. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down Maya's face as she nodded. "Yes, David. 1,000 times yes." Their wedding was held in the garden of the Villarreal family's estate, in Batanes, with close friends and family in attendance. Maya wore a simple white dress, just like the one she'd worn when she married Miguel. But this time, she wore it with pride and joy. As she and David exchanged vows under a canopy of flowers, she thought about how far she'd come. "I promise to love you for who you are, today and every day," David said, his voice clear and strong. "I promise to support your dreams and to build a life with you based on respect, trust, and love." Maya smiled, looking out at the faces of the people she loved. Her